Football over Mlazi, Orlando Pirates finishing on the right end of a 4-goal thriller. They win by 3-1 against Richards Bay. Many home defenders also through, courtesy of a 3-1 scoreline. We do understand that the Polokwane City and the Bees game is still currently going on. In fact, we can confirm that has been concluded as well. Raymond Daniels with the winner for Rise and Shine. They also earned their ticket to the round of 16. Thank you once again for joining us. The one side of Soweto has already gone through to the round of 16. We'll be finding out in a short while if the black and gold side will be doing the same. Still alongside Jimmy as well as Lucky. Jimmy, after 90 minutes, Pirates get the job done. How do you feel Coach Rivero is feeling right now based on what he's just seen?
I think it's just the options in front that he should be relieved with.
Yeah.
Having Kota and Relay, having Maswangai and Mabasa, you can alternate with those players. And I think any coach who has got an option to play different formations and those players are delivering on the day, it's something that you really want to use as an ace coming into any game.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think in the second half, they switched off a bit and they allowed Richards Bay back into the game. When Richards Bay got the 2-1 goal by Mbutuma, I think Pirates could have done much better to just up the tempo of the game. But what they did, they allowed Richards Bay to get more into the game. Psychologically, Richards Bay were in the lookout for the second goal as an equalizer. And I think Pirates, for the better part of the second half, they played on the back foot.
Your impressions?
Yeah, I just think the substitution came to par for Pirates. Shange and Dlamini, you know, we saw the creative of the third goal for Mabasa, that it was quickly played from Maswangai and Dlamini was switched off to play Mabasa in. So it just tells you that the depth they have in the team. I mean, a leader like Koki, you heard the coach say that he's happy to have him back because he can encourage and marshal the guys. So it's a good omen for the team, because any player that's been called up, even the captain coming in, Mayela, they're just closing on that left-hand side, where now Richards Bay was finding joy on the right-hand side in attack, which is how the goal came by. So I feel that Orlando Pirates really, they dig deep to win this game. Like, I'm 100% concur with Jimmy that they started second half slow, but very impressed with Richards Bay. The boys that they didn't look down, they took the game to Pirates second half. Yes, the substitution also played a key role, because we saw first half Dube was having a nightmare on the right-hand side, and, you know, key players that we can look at, like Mbutuma, forever going, wanting to create goals.
Yep. The champions, in the end, getting through by 3-1. Now, it was quite an eventful afternoon for one Tito Maswanganyi. He's got 2 goals. He got a yellow card in the opening half as well. And we'll touch on what happened in the second half, where he nearly cost his team a goal. But this is in the 16th minute. A shout here, more from the fans, really, than the players in review for a penalty.
Yeah, of course. I think for me, yes, it wasn't a penalty. And I'm of the view that Maswangai did not deserve to get a yellow card. And to quantify that, I would then say he did not appeal with the referee for that to be given as a penalty. You know, he went down obviously looking for the penalty, but he never renegated with the referee to then say, you should have given me that.
Yeah.
So I think the reaction from the supporters is the reason why Maswangai got a yellow card, because the referee wanted to justify that he is right by not giving the yellow card. As a result, Maswangai deserved the yellow card, which I hold a different view.
But all in all, a right decision to not award the penalty there.
Yeah, absolutely right decision. But again, you look at where the referee was. He was able to look at Maswangai, follow the play. I mean, it was like 2 meters away. So he saw that he took a dive. But Jimmy's right. Maswangai didn't contest with the referee. He even said, no, I didn't call for a penalty. But, you know, the referees now, they want to be cautious also for themselves, because sometimes if you give a yellow card there, it's a meeting tomorrow to say, where were you? And it's an investigation again. So for him, he wanted to set the tables right, to say that I'm going to punish you if you're going to start something like that. So now one thing we know about the referees, which is brilliant, is they've identified certain players in certain teams to say, you know what, when you want to outwit me, and I'm not going to let that happen, but right not to give the penalty, and a rightful so to give a yellow card so he doesn't repeat it again. Because he differently Jim. Because as I'm pushing, was
no, Marallela or penalty.
But Jimzo, if hasa mufi wa khutla Maswangai o re ke mmono go alert na o tlo dive ha wa bona wa bona o etsa Maswangai o go trepa ka left a hlodise refu go ka a teta down, so the referee wanted to stop it all in all, and after that he never had silly fouls, he never even contested to say that let me outwit the referee because he knew
he's on a yellow card.
Rightfully so, because if he didn't give him, referee not to sokola ka Maswangai the whole game.
Okay, well, Maswanganyi did fail to make an impression as far as that incident is concerned, but not too long thereafter, he had his first of 2 goals. Once again, 3 players heavily involved here. Nkota to Mofokeng to Maswanganyi.
Good persistence there by Nkota just to outsprint the Richards Bay defense. And this, the layup to Relay Mofokeng, the first touch, just turning and making sure that he lays that ball off for Maswanganyi. I mean, here looks a lot of strength and just being able to find Mofokeng, who's aware what is happening around him. He lays that off for Maswanganyi. And I think just that trio, for me, they did exceptionally well, including Maswanganyi.
This is the 12th goal that Pirates domestically, at the very least, have scored from outside the area. That can't be a coincidence.
No, I mean, absolutely impressed with Maswanganyi. I was about to say to Jimmy, I concur with him, because you look at the runs that he makes where he is. Every time it's created on this right-hand side with Nkota, Maswanganyi takes a run and hopes to be spotted by Relay. So, absolutely right, it's what they do at training all the time. And again, I always say that to the defenders, so if Mofokeng goes inside, follow him so that you can eliminate the option of him having such a beautiful assist, because he's aware what's happening around him. And Maswanganyi is making perfect runs at the right place at the right time.
This is very similar, Jimmy, isn't it, to that first goal in terms of Really gets the ball there. He does delay it just for a bit of a second because he knows a midfielder is joining.
And it's those 3 players again with Nkota bringing in the cross to locate Relay. Relay realizes there's a lot of traffic around him. He looks for another alternative, and Maswanganyi is not far off. He lays it through. Maswanganyi makes an entry into the box and just makes it easy for him. He picks the spot. And you can see the telepathic understanding between those 3 players, that it's actually so beneficial because you can actually alternate them. And they understand where they need to run and when they need to run into spaces. But just the presence of mind for Relay, you know, a player who's so young, but he's so aware in the game, you know, to make that decision, the weight of the pass, perfect, the idea to locate Maswanganyi, perfect. So I really compliment him for just having a clean game.
A reminder, he's still only 20 years of age, is Relay Mofokeng. 11 assists in all competitions for him at this stage of the campaign. Now, at half-time, we did have a chat about Richards Bay and exactly what it was they were going to contribute to this game as an attacking force. Plenty of good work they did in that second half, starting as early as the 47th minute, halving the deficit.
Absolutely, and one impressive thing, you look at that, they changed the back 4 to a back 3, and they started playing those balls behind the defense of Orlando Pirates. And here, Gumede did very well. Yes, Melusi didn't get a whole hand onto the ball, but look who's there, Mbutuma. That's what we always cry and call for, that strikers remain in the box, remain in the danger area, because any second ball will fall onto you and it will be a goal. But I love the way they changed their tactics. Richards Bay, they now, while not trying to outwit Pirates with the touches, they were going more direct. The same goal that Pirates caught is the same one. Ball behind the left back, and then a shot taken by Kumete. Melusi tried to make that save, but Mbutuma, aware of mind, made that goal.
Yeah, and in that second half, that goal comes then thereafter. You can tell that Richards Bay are basically getting a fair bit of encouragement from Pirates, who at that stage, as you mentioned, had sort of taken the foot off the pedal a bit.
Yeah, they have, because I think they got caught by surprise when they considered the first goal so early out of the halftime. I mean, 2 minutes out of halftime, you concede. So whatever that you discuss in the change room changes now, because now you've conceded. So at that point, Pirates are not sure whether to attack, to look for the third goal, or to defend and try and protect the lead. And by virtue of doing that, they are now inviting Richards Bay. We've got nothing to lose. They're already a goal down. They try and search for to get an equalizer. And they actually had those opportunities. I think later on we'll look into the chances that were missed by Richards Bay. And you just think, if they convert this, where does it put Pirates to be able to come back into this game? And I think when they look back at this game, Richards Bay, they actually realize that they also let Pirates off the hook at some instances.
So Jimmy talks about missed chances, arguably the best one of those, this one. It starts with Maswanganyi, who's got possession of the ball, Dalaki. Not too much as far as pressure on him is concerned. What happens next?
No, I say no, Osa Kadile, Osa Shapile style. Why does he want to do the extra touch? Osa Pamisito, Osa Isune, play the nearest player. Now he wants to do the last thing which hits his knee. And here, Butuma, yes, he's a striker. We say strikers must be selfish, but not there. You've got Mutlame on the left-hand side, Gumet on the right-hand side. Lay it off so it can be 2-2. I mean, also, in the first half, they got a brilliant opportunities which they didn't bury. That's why we say this is a game of fine margins. He needs to be aware of what's going on around him. I mean, if you instantly, Rilo was the player there, he was just going to lay it off on the left-hand side for Mutlame to hit the back of the net.
For me, it's the timing.
Yeah.
You look at the time on the clock, you want to put on a show, the score is just 2-1. If Richards Bay equalizes there, you'll actually realize that in itself had an effect on how it impacted the team, because they could have easily scored there. The score is 2-2.
Yeah.
You know, and that's being counterproductive for the team. I've got nothing against players showboating, but if it's at the detriment of the team, for me, it's something that you really need to work on in terms of improving, because that could have cost Pirates that game. You know, Richards Bay comes in, they equalize. They miss other 2 chances again in the game. We talk a different situation altogether. So I think it's just lessons. It's not about us trying to punish players, but it's about lessons to then say, what do you intend to improve into the next game? And those are some of the things that I think he should look into improving in his game.
Jimarui ente no danger area. Ineleka hafunyan.
Mara, okay. He's speaking about the timing. So 63rd minute. If as
icebreaker. Mamel, we already leading these guys. So how about killing? No, can understand, but Mamel, I can't about frustrate or about told and about dribble. He's far born away. He of the second half.
You've got 4 players.
It's up now. That's the last touch. I don't want the last touch. He did everything right. The last touch, he should have passed. But now I'm saying that right because we still have defenders. The thing is, he nearly got punished. But let me remind you something. When the game started, he was doing it on the left-hand side. And they got 2 breaks, nearly scored from that because the defenders of Richards Bay, they switched off. Right area of the pitch, you can do it. I can let you.
Okay, Talaki, let me ask this. Let me ask this. As teammate, Tito, in that situation, and you nearly concede, what are you saying to him?
No, I'm saying to him, Ntwana, it was at the right place, sharp. We sharpilo ustotsi. Why ubatla jwalo uetsa ka mangwele? It's a sharp pass. Understand? Yeah? No, I can't he got away with it. And we've seen games, a lot of games, where he does it, pinpoint the ball. We saw one there when he hit Mabasa with an outside and Mabasa nearly scored. So you don't hatch on him, but you encourage him to do it going forward, not backwards. Marim Jimaro, what's a Jimmy is fine. Yeah, myself. Scaram go bezo na counter chain. Mahari. Jimmy, yes, boy. I'm right. Higher down the line. Scaram go beza bamufa right pass. Jimmy Gwenny. Scaram go beza bamufa. Jimmy abari crossing. Ha, Polindanya. So na jwale ka shoku sai ha. Yeah, na se funa jwale skara. Yenza lento ya kondote yo kina ngayo la penja. Marike makampo. Maraskaro na etsa. Hanya.
Munarbulaka na. So when if o taenza mo polo, rona ba bang re tseng kana ko.
Yeah, no, be alert. Like I said, no, mame. Like ke thweku jetsa hard dancer, and then right wing area, left wing area. O khona o yetsa through pass, but ke mistake and. One mistake about to the whole game. You must one guy answer. I just right.
All right, it's fine. We are going to have to move on. That is the tale of 2 right backs here in studio. One says, yeah, we've got all the time for that. The other says, no. Particularly not in the 63rd minute when we're under pressure at 2-1. But there were to be a couple more chances then for the visitors, particularly for Utekofaso Mabasa, who finished the game extremely well, having really sort of struggled for the majority of it. Great chance here, denied by Otieno.
Yeah, absolutely great chance. But you look at the striker, I always say I love what he does. I love the way he moves Mabasa. He gets himself on the shoulder of the last defense. And here, for me, the defender put himself in all troubles. You just clear that ball. You let the middle fielders start the creativity. You don't want to win it and start playing from the back. As a defender, sometimes your first key role is just clear the lines and then come back. He nearly played Mabasa on. But what I say by Otiano there to just go with the left foot to make that block. And we say that situations like that, as defenders, you have to learn, because how can it's a mistake back or more? How about a mistake?
No, there you play as a defender.
Yeah.
Clear your line.
Yeah.
But I want to focus on an unrelated football issue.
Tell us.
If we can play that clip again.
Which one?
And the very same one.
I can't see what
Why no Ragadi Port to know that? If he gets injured there.
Oh, the same.
The same one goes here.
Yeah.
If you can just play that.
Okay.
Yes, Maswangai does well.
Yeah.
This is what you want to see from Maswangai, being able to locate his player. Yeah, he makes a mistake. Tseho Mawasa gets a shot on. Yeah, la na man, la. No problem na lo. Why ukhatlela? Mawulimala lapha.
Yeah.
Here's why. Because at the back of those boards, advertising boards, there's three steals. And the middle one is the thick one.
Yeah.
So imagine, how did he get injured?
That's
because if you khatlela lapha, left, iyavuvuka same time.
So Pumi.
But he's absolutely right. We might joke about it. He's absolutely right. Players need to be aware of certain things, especially in the field of play. Like what if so they need to be more cautious.
I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking to myself, if you guys played in modern day football, no.
No, I'm
with you.
I understand.
Yeah.
What if kunensimbi lapha emuva?
Manje usulimele.
So limele.
Batshela laba bakoka bayekhonini bathi slide tackle uvuvuka saneshumi la. And manje inkinga yini? Uthola skillful player ofana noMfukeng. Uthi awusayi ngeshumi ngithulimela. So manje uyasicosta because manje ufuna ukuguide all the time. So
yeah, celebration la.
uMfukeng uyadlula lapha ngeshumi uyacelebrate ekhonini.
Okay, well, if you were wondering if Mufukeng, or rather Mabasa, had injured his left foot, he said no, because he was rather to get his name onto the score sheet. This is in the 93rd minute. It's a great ball, good enough from Dlamini. However, just talk us through what he does with that ball.
I think first things first, Richards Bay switches off from that set piece. Because it only took 3 touches for Paris to get into that box. Dlamini receives, he locates Mabasa, and he makes a good touch. He puts his body between him and the defender. He picks his spot hard and low on the corner. This is what you want to see from him, and I think for me, it's just Richards Bay switching off at the wrong time.
Switching off at the wrong time, and duly punished by Tseho Mabasa. 3-1, the final score. Shots on target, even in that regard. And again, that has to be big credit to Richards Bay in that second half. Did pretty much all they could in trying to get back into the game. Ultimately, beaten by 3-1. Very quickly, I want to touch on the goal scorer for that number 3. Tseho Mabasa, that's his 41st goal he scored in the colours of Pirates historically, joining some wonderful players, former players of Orlando Pirates, in being joint second goal scorer. Leslie Manyathela, Phumlani Mkhize, all 3 now on 41. They're chasing.
Hey, good shot.
Yeah.
Shot
58 goals. 58 goals.
No. So is the number 10 we're crying for in today's game. Because defensively, he doesn't do much. But going forward, you'll pick him up tight now. If you look once and we are celebrating, so amazing player. Very clever in the box. Even set pieces, a corner, he will go like he's running to the first post, make a half moon turn, he's hitting it, goal on the far post.
No, but I think he's done well. One needs to really give him credit. I think this opportunity he got coming back against into Orlando Pirates, he has really come in wanting to really prove a point, and I think he's doing well so far.
So he's certainly looking up at Uto Vilakazi. 41 goals now for Orlando Pirates for Tseho Mabasa. He's 17 shy of the general in Uto Vilakazi. Let's head back now For the first time since our build-up to Tiger's Milk over in Kyalami, where Zenande is celebrating, I'm imagining, alongside Orlando Pirates fans.
90 minutes on the clock and the final